hill,
near a wood,
where nobody goes.
up the track,
Through a gate, the food forest grows, with secrets and treasures for everyone's pleasure, and Rob's discovery. Welcome back to the forest garden. It's mid-August and it's been excuse me. It's mid-August and it's been a month of rather mixed blessings so far. Oh, excuse me again. My apricot tree, after the apricot has sadly died, despite him being in the nice warm greenhouse, the birds have found a way into the greenhouse and eaten all my grapes, but they've missed the ones outside growing along the fence, and they're becoming all juicy and red. They're nearly ready for the plucking. The leeks are growing fantastically. The pumpkins, well, every seed has come true and there are more pumpkins than I know what to do with. There are little autumn olive berries on the Eleagnus bushes that are sometimes called autumn olive as well. I've not tried them before, so we'll see what those are like a bit later. What else is growing? Melons! Melons in the greenhouse, yeah. Good melons. Yesterday, I noticed that one of my plum trees already has plums on it. A summer's dusk. And my plums are finally ready. They weren't ready an hour ago, but they are now. I was dreaming of this moment about 4 years ago, before I planted my first tree. The first plum. I forget the variety, there are 4 here, but that is so very sweet. So sweet. I shall. Well, that one's got a wasp in it. I won't pick that one. But I shall pick a few to have some for breakfast tomorrow morning. Actually, I'll probably pick the lot before the birds get them. Plum, 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 plum. That's completely made me forget what I was saying. The bees have absconded. They've gone. I know they're still close by because I see them come back and sucking nectar and pollinating the flowers. And I know that they are the bees that were in my hive because they are slightly darker than other people's bees in the area. And they've got a kind of ginger hue rather than a golden hue. And I expect they're darker because at some point they've crossbred with some native British black bees. I suspect they're in an oak tree over there. But yeah, they're not on the land, but I'm pleased that they are happy where they are, or I hope they are. And in my arrogance, I thought that all the 10 hives I had set up for them that are now empty were perfect for them, but the bees know best. And if I'm fortunate, they'll come back. I've created a habitat for them, and that's all I can do. It's a bit too late in the year now really to catch any swarms, so it'll probably be next springtime. I haven't finished the scything yet. It's really hard work. I've done about a quarter of it and I'm not really fit enough to scythe for hour after hour. And I just do what I can when I get back from work here and there. but it's getting done. When walking around the field, it's really interesting to see how much things have slowed down growth-wise, despite it having been a very wet and warm month. There are quite a few mouse nests around the forest garden at the moment, which is probably why Hooty Muck Hootface, the tawny owl, visits so regularly. Mushrooms! It's been perfect conditions for mushrooms. In the field next to mine, I haven't seen field mushrooms there for about 5 years, but the conditions are just right, and they are everywhere. They normally come later in the year, in the autumn time, like late September or October, but it being a wet and warm month as it is, the conditions have been perfect for them. So, yesterday, I took my basket and went to mushroom hunting. It's important to say at this point that you should only eat mushrooms if you're 100% certain that they are edible. I know these are alright because a lady in the village ate some last week and she's okay. Also, they've got that mushroomy smell. They just smell right, which is very difficult to describe to someone else, but they smell mushroomy and they look mushroomy, and someone else ate them before me, so I'm going to give them a go. That nice basket full of mushrooms made a fantastic... What was it I did with them? Was it a stew? Something, but they were okay anyway. Quite strong. Mushrooms! That's right, cow. Mushrooms. It has also been a fantastic month for beetroot. In the springtime, I planted a packet of 100 beetroot seeds I had, and I was expecting some to come up and maybe get a small crop, but every single seed germinated and every single seed has become a delicious beetroot root. And a few days ago, according to the lunar calendar, it was the perfect time to harvest them, so harvest them I did. Ease them carefully out of the ground. Oh yes! Twist off the tops, and voila! Into the box. There is a lot of nutrition in the tops, but I'm not really sure what to do with them, so I just lay them over the ground as a mulch to suppress the weeds. I've left a dozen or so of the best ones to let them go to seed to allow cross-pollination, so that the seeds that I collect from them will breed true next year. And these beetroot tops should be a good mulch around them. After roasted beetroot, boiled beetroot, pickled beetroot, fresh grated beetroot, beetroot sandwiches, beetroot cake, beetroot crumble, there was still quite a few left. So I thought it's about time I took advantage of the fact that my tool shed is covered with earth and has a bare soil floor. It's cool and it's humid. It's perfect for a root cellar. I've heard about sand clamps, but never made one myself. So, going by the book, I left the beetroots in the sun to cure for a day, ready for storage. I collected some free cardboard crates from a supermarket. I bought some sand from a hardware shop. You can use it again, year after year. I lined the bottom of the cardboard crates with newspaper to stop the sand draining out. Placed the beetroots apart so they're not touching. And filled up the box with sand. They've all come out the sand now. It's like a beetroot lucky dip. What is it this time? A beetroot. Oh no, the sands of time. I need to find something to plug that up. So hopefully that will keep me in beetroot all throughout the winter. Although, loving beetroot as much as I do, I don't think they'll last that long. And today, I'm making some beetroot soup. I got this recipe from a friend. It consists of beetroot, potatoes, and onion. And it's easy to remember the ratios because it's 3-1-1. It's an equal amount of onion and potato, but in this case I've got some carrots to use, not quite enough potatoes, so they're going in the pot as well. And then 3 times as much beetroot. And a little bit of grated nutmeg for flavour, and a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, which is quite unusual, but I'll see if it works. And then top it up with boiling water. I think I underestimated how many ingredients I was going to put in this size pot. Since living here over the last few years, I've had quite a few unusual and close encounters with animals. I've had toads in my bed. I've met mice so brazen that they would steal a grape from my plate whilst eating it. I've had blackbirds make nests on my bookshelf. I've chased swarms of bees across the field. I've removed blood-sucking horse leeches from my water pipe. I've startled sleeping stags in the grass and had big old dog foxes escort me up to my place in the dark. But last week was a first when I confidently went into my greenhouse to water some plants and pick some tomatoes. I stood on a girt big adder. I'm quite fortunate it didn't bite me. I'm not sure who was more surprised, it or me, but now it's living somewhere in my greenhouse. And I'm a bit nervous moving around in there. It's supposed to be a place to relax. I'm not sure where he is. It's a lovely place for him though, because there are so many frogs and mice in there for him to eat, and the rocky bare ground is perfect for basking in the heat of the place. But if anyone knows any ways to make an adder trap, I'd be very grateful, because I wouldn't mind if he were to move on. Another thing I've done yesterday, in fact, was install a stove in my caravan. Last winter time, I worked out that I spent about £250 on bottled gas for heating the place, which was roughly the price of a wood-burning stove and all the bits and pieces to go with it. So I cut a hole in the roof with my penknife to poke the flue through. Got an extra couple of carbon monoxide alarms just to be sure. Not that I'll have it going at night, because I don't think that's a good idea. Yeah, I'm looking forward to a cosy winter time. Hello! Come and sit down. Just in time for lunch, tea. Got some helpers today. They've been doing good jobs for me in the forest garden. and they shall be rewarded with this concoction. Elspeth's been helping me pick plums, and Benjamin has been shooting some experimental aerial footage with his drone.
No.
Take off. I'm really amazed, it's incredible, so futuristic. Look at that. I hope you like beetroot soup.
Would love it.
So I hope you're hungry, and I hope it's alright. It's alright, it's clean rainwater. Right. I'll just give you a little bit to start with in case you don't like it.
It's more like now.
Well, there's some for you.
Thank you.
See what you think of that.
I'll wait for you guys to get some before I start, because
That's probably sensible, yeah.
all freshly grown by yourself?
Absolutely, yeah. Fresh from the garden, not one day since. Right, there's some for you.
Well, at least the rain will cool it down.
Yeah, it's raining quite a bit now, isn't it? Spoon, sir. Right, you may begin if you wish. I'll serve myself.
That's actually really nice. I really like this.
Oh, I'm pleased to hear that.
Give Mum the recipe.
It's also really hot.
That's very, very hot, actually, isn't it? Well,
It's good.
It's cool, let's see. And it's good. I really like this.
Oh wow, good.
I'm impressed, actually. Well, shall we, do you want to go and take that and shelter from the rain?
Yeah,
You can take it with you if you like.
Thank
and I
you.
shall sit here. It's not fair to make you sit here and eat it in the rain like me. And I'm just going to fetch my accordion quickly. Well, our activity has been curtailed somewhat today to the rain, but thank you very much for watching. Now you can witness Benjamin's amazing drone shot as I play the theme tune. Well done to you both. Thanks. That'll have to do because of the rain.